Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit since I had a video out, and let me show you why. Well, first off, the weather has not cooperated with me at all. Every time I'm off, it seems like it wants to rain, so it's hard to get anything done. But right here is my 2266 Cosmore. This thing's weighing around 320 pounds, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But it's still growing, so we'll see what she does. But over here is the one I'm excited about. Look at the plant on this thing. Got a very nice looking plant. Best one I've ever grown. And as of yesterday, this right here is the biggest pumpkin I've ever grown too. This thing is measuring 376 pounds this morning. And if it keeps going at the pace it's going, by the end of this week, it should be over 500 pounds. Way more than my record. But today we got a bunch of rain and storms coming, actually over the next few days. Last night, you saw in the first clips, I was out there brush hogging my field that I hate doing, because if I'm ever going to flip on a field, or roll over, I should say, it's going to be on that field, because there's just some bad spots in there. But I got it mostly done. But now I want to try and get Butt Pucker Hill done. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so there it is, Butt Pucker Hill. And I call it that because I made a video on this years ago. I don't like doing this hill, and I haven't done it for a couple years. You can see some of that stuff's pretty big. But I call it that because I back up this hill. And when you're backing up, you feel like you're backing up into outer space because it's that steep. And it's hard to show on camera, it always is. But we've done it before. And I think once I get a path clear up to the top, because if you guys know where I'm at here on the property, right above is the field where we planted the Christmas trees earlier this spring. So once you get over the edge right there, it's an open field that I've kept mowed. So after I get up there, I think I'll feel better. But it just makes me nervous. I just don't like it. so Butt Pucker Hill is done, and just in time because we got a storm moving in. I wouldn't have been able to do this for a while because we got about 3 inches of rain coming over the next few days at least. That would have been too wet. But yeah, right there's a little bit of a dip, and it gets real steep up here. Let me show you the other view. So right here towards the top where that dip is, and after you get past that dip, then it really starts getting steep, and that's what I'm talking about. You just feel like you're going straight up when you're backing up. So there's our Christmas trees, still doing good. And then turn around here and look how far down the tractor is. But man, that sure looks a whole lot nicer. Now, the only time I ever mowed this hill was with my XR 4040, and I gotta say, I felt way more comfortable in this tractor than I ever did on my tractor. And the reason for that is, there's 2 reasons. One, it's got a little bit of a wider stance, and secondly, the power shuttle. That makes such a big difference, because when you get up to the top, I can just flip the switch and go back the same speed that I came down. Now, on my shuttle shift, LS, the XR 4040, I'd have to stop, clutch, and then move it forward, and then let off the clutch easy. And in that time, you're just kind of nervous that you're going to start sliding, you know. So that's why you can't do this when it's wet at all, because if you start getting cockeyed, you're asking for some trouble. But this tractor had no trouble with that hill at all. All right, so the next job I want to do, if you're like me, this time of year, you're losing your yard a little bit. And what I mean by that, things are growing in. So right now I want to show you a function. If you followed the channel for a while, back when I was testing this model of tractor, I got to use this easy brake function. I don't know if you can see that. Right there, that easy brake function. And while I was testing that, they asked me what I thought of it, and what I came up with was, if you're on flat ground, you probably don't need the easy brake function because of the power shuttle. Because you can stop and go forward or reverse pretty easily on flat ground. Where this comes in handy is when you've got a little bit of a slope like I do back here. You can just hit the brake and it'll stop the tractor. So let's say you're going in reverse. If you just hit the brake, it's going to stop the tractor without stalling it. And that comes in handy, especially when you're looking behind. And then that way, with your feet, all you have to worry about is pushing the brake. You don't have to worry about pushing the clutch too. So I'm going to show you how to use this. Okay, here's a button for the easy brake right here. So when I turn this on, it says brake clutch link function is activated. So they changed the name. It used to say easy brake. So I'm going to go ahead and start mowing and try to cut these yard edges back. It's going to be hard to show, but some of you are probably wondering, what are you doing if you got a power shuttle? Why do you need to do this? Okay, so I'm going back, and the tractor's going to want to go down in the woods. But all I got to do is press the brake to stop. See, we stopped. We stopped, and we're still in reverse. And normally, that would stall a tractor, okay? So what this is letting me do is just focus on the brake and holding the tractor here and not going down the hill, instead of braking, clutching, and then trying to mess with this lever all at the same time. Okay, so that's the perk of it, and that's why I say if you're on slopes, you might want this, and if you're on flat ground, you probably don't need it. All right, so I got all this hillside mowed down, and away from the chicken coop, which that'll help because it seems like when that grows in, that's when the predators they get more brave to come in and try to get into the chicken coop. I just wanted to show you that feature on this MT473, and you might not need it, like I said, especially if you want flat ground, but you know, I think it's pretty handy, especially for a job like this where you got to stop and start a lot on a little bit of a slope. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button if you want, and you can keep up with what we're doing here at our farm. And until next time, everybody, thanks for watching.